So my name is Simone Bridgewater. I'm the Gender-Based Violence Coordinator here at the Department of Gender and Family Affairs within the Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development. Before Dorian, we were working a lot with the NGOs on the ground, anticipating where some of those services, where the needs may be post-hurricane. Of course, that did not happen. The hurricane became unprecedented. In the aftermath of Dorian, the Department of Gender and Family Affairs was on the ground in terms of helping with shelter management, assisting with short-term training with the Red Cross as well, to make sure that our volunteers in the centers were aware of certain issues, particular to shelter environment. Outside of that, we were engaged in some of the manuals, so new disaster manuals, thinking about gender dimensions. Of course, we had UNFPA come in. They've been attached with us, collaborating with us, helping us to think about new ideas around what does it mean to be safe in shelters, shelter management, gender-based violence, particular to this kind of environment. We've been working together now, creating new pathways. The Bahamas has its own protocols as it pertains to gender-based violence. However, we've not thought about these kinds of situations outside of 2 or 3 days, with the recovery being much longer. UNFPA has come in, they've sat with us, they've understood the needs of our community, and they've helped us to think about the long-term aspects of life after disaster, as it pertains to children, as it pertains to women of reproductive age, even men and those with vulnerabilities and or disabilities. So this natural disaster has come in a way to benefit the country as a whole, and even the Caribbean, right, providing new kinds of models. And we're quite happy about that and what that looks like, especially certain communities who've been provided with dignity kits from UNFPA. They're very thankful for these kinds of things because people don't think about hygiene and sanitary situations. They don't think about things like underwear and that women's needs and older women's needs or younger women's needs. And so these are the kind of things we were able to come together and co-create with UNFPA. A lot of their teamwork. We had the communications team telling us a bit about how do we bring public awareness. We have our gender-based violence coordinators who've helped us put together some of these pathways. We've had operations work out how to get some of these packs and kits out to different communities, regardless of space and location. And we've even had the supervisors come in and met with high-level dignitaries of the government to say, hey, this is how we can help you. This is how we do short-term, mid-term, and long-term. So it's been a very, very successful relationship thus far. And so the Department of Gender and Family Affairs, along with UNFPA, have made a concerted effort to work out what's the most important thing as it pertains to shelter management. So looking at the gender dimensions of shelter management, it means that taking into account that women and men need to be segmented, that women and children need their space, that there needs to be security for vulnerable groups of persons. It means thinking about the needs, whether they're physical, whether they're emotional, whether it's recreational, from a gender perspective. So children, what do they need? What do men need to build camaraderie in a healthy, non-toxic kind of way, right? So it's thinking about those kinds of dimensions, and especially around referrals. How do we respect privacy and bring dignity to persons even within a short-term situation like shelter living and shelter accommodation?